What is going on, everyone on YouTube? Twister Game 30, aka Twister Gaming TV, coming to you with the first preview of the 2025 first game of the season for Mississippi State as they go to Hattiesburg this weekend to take on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Both teams coming off an abysmal, and I do mean an abysmal season last year, where Mississippi State went 2-10, 0-8 in conference. Southern Miss went 1-11 and 0-8 in conference as well. So both teams not only looking to win this game, but also looking to start their season on a high note as they prepare for the season to come in 2025. Yeah, Mississippi State, we came off a tumultuous year. We lost all of our conference games, and we only won half of our non-conference games, or we beat Eastern Kentucky and we beat UMass, but then we turned around and lost against Arizona State and Toledo. And of course, we lost our conference games, which ended making us 2-10. Then Southern Miss, the only win they got one win last season, and they're coming off honestly one of probably their worst seasons in their program history. So, like I said, both teams are looking for direction to get the season started off on a good note. And what better way to do it than in a football game this Saturday? For Mississippi State, though, it's going to be about finding new direction. We said this last year a couple of times during the reviews, of which Mississippi State lost some games that, quite frankly, they probably shouldn't have lost. But I said this before during those videos, and I'll say it to you again. This is going to take some time to get it just right. We may not be able to get it fully right this year. Our schedule is really tough this year. All those games we played against that we had to go on the road. We had to play Texas. We had to play Georgia. We had to play Arkansas. We had to play, or actually, no, I take that back. Arkansas played them at home. We get them on the road this year. We played Ole Miss on the road last year. We played Tennessee on the road last year. I mean, there are a lot of games that we played on the road that we get them in Starkville, but the deal is that they're still going to be tough opponents no matter what. Georgia and Texas, they're starting the season literally right near the top of the rankings. Actually, Texas, if I'm not mistaken, is number one in the rankings going into their week one showdown against Ohio State. So Mississippi State, just because we've got a lot of the big boys coming to Starkville, doesn't mean that we're going to have an easier schedule. It's going to be just as hard, if not harder, this year than it was last year. And I said this in the review videos last year, that it was going to be a couple of years, and I'm still on that focus. That it's going to be a couple of years. Do I think that we may see a turning point at some point this season where we finally flip the switch and say, hey, we're actually looking like it's going to get better? Possibly. There's a chance this year where we could actually win some games that, we're not expected to win. As I was told by some family of mine, that it was time for us to actually win a game. Don't know which one, but it's time for us to win a game. What I mean by that is win a game that we're not expected to win. Guys, remember back into the 70s, Mississippi State beat Alabama. Nobody picked Mississippi State to beat Alabama. We were having a rough stretch. What did? We went in there, we beat Alabama. It's getting to be about that time to where theoretically we should pull off an upset. Do I think we have the team capable of doing it? I don't know. Do I think we'll know some answers after this game against Southern Miss? Again, I really don't know. I think the first real test for us is going to be when we play our first home game the following Saturday against Arizona State, where they're coming off a playoff run, but they also lost a lot of their players to the NFL draft. So I'll be curious to see, when they come to Starkville, how we end up faring against Arizona State. But first things first, let's look at the Southern Miss game. Betting odds put us at a 12-point favorite right now against Southern Miss. Honestly, I'm okay with that. At first, I was a little bit skeptical about it just because I was like, wait a minute. Southern Miss, not that good of a team. One of the worst teams in the FBS. But then you have to remember, we were in that boat last year too. We were one of the worst teams in the FBS last year as well. So even though it is an SEC versus Sun Belt game, and analytics would say, 12-point favorite, that's really underdoing it. Not really. I think it'll be a really good game. I do think Mississippi State will get the victory. this Saturday. At least I hope they do. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than what most people would predict it would be. I see us winning this game 34 to 24. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there now. Mississippi State will beat Southern Miss 34 to 24 in Hattiesburg. And hopefully I'm right. And hopefully when I do the review video, we can talk about it. And I'll say, hey, we won there. Let's move on to Arizona State. As far as how these preview videos and review videos are going to go this year, they're going to go a little bit differently than how they did last year. So, last year I just recorded them and I uploaded them right away. This year I'm going to record them at a time of my choosing, and then we're going to upload them at a specific time each week. For the college games for Mississippi State, the review video is going to be uploaded on Sunday nights around 8 p.m. Eastern for everyone to watch, and the preview video for the following week, for the following game, will be uploaded on Wednesday nights at around 8 p.m. Eastern, so it kind of gives you an idea of what to look for the Mississippi State previews and reviews. For the Dallas Cowboys previews and reviews, because I do plan on doing those, it's going to be a little bit different, mainly because the first game for Dallas Cowboys is going to be September 4th. It's a Thursday night game. We're playing the New York Giants. So for that game, we're going to be doing probably a Tuesday preview. So that'll be November the 2nd. I'll upload that, and then we'll do a review on November 5th. But other than that, if it's a Sunday game, and most of them are, not 90% of them are, we will do a preview video on Thursday and a review video on Monday night. So just be kind of looking for that. Just some things to keep in mind as we go about the season in terms of Mississippi State and in terms of the Dallas Cowboys. But one other thing I do want to leave here with is a preview as to what I expect for the Mississippi State 2025 season. Do I expect us to go to a bowl game? Do I expect big things? Do I expect us to go to playoffs? Playoffs? No. Hate to disappoint you guys, especially the State fans. Not this year. Do I think we make a bowl game? Considering we play NIU, Southern Miss, and Alcorn State, that should be 3 games that are fairly winnable. Have to see how the rest of the season goes. But depending on how the rest of the season goes, a bowl game may not be out of the picture. But we have to see how we start off the season against Southern Miss, Arizona State, NIU. I'm missing one somewhere. Alcorn State. I knew I was missing one. But anyway, we have to wait and see how we start the season. And then how do we play against the conference games and see where that goes from there. Hopefully we start out pretty well, and that'll lead me to believe that we will at least go to a bowl game and we will see improvements out of this program. It can't be a lot worse than what we did last year, I'll put it that way. Last year we went 2-10. So safe to say it's definitely time for a change in scenery, if you get my drift. And for some of you State fans, you may get my drift just because we are doing, or not we, but there is going to be some things coming for the Mississippi State College in the next couple of years in connection with Starkville. But that's neither here nor there. This is about football. But in connection with that, I think big things are going to come from Mississippi State football wise. May not be this year, may not be next year, but big things are coming. I am glad that we did not decide to fire Jeff Lebby. I was a little afraid of that just because of that tumultuous season last year was. But I'm glad Jeff Lebby is getting a chance to prove himself this year. But again, this is going to be kind of a prove it year. You have a year under your belt. We didn't do good last year. This is kind of a year where we need to step it up a little bit. I said it can't get much worse, but we do need to step up from what we did last year. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and looking forward to a great Mississippi State season as always. Keep it tuned, and just be on the lookout for the review video that'll be coming out on Monday, either Sunday night or Monday night, for the Mississippi State versus Southern Miss game, as well as the preview on Tuesday for the Dallas Cowboys game, as well as Wednesday the preview for the Mississippi State and Arizona State game. Until then, guys, Twister Game 30 signing off. We'll see y'all later.